Welcome to this deep dive into deep reinforcement learning, or DRL. For senior architects, DRL represents the frontier where deep learning meets sequential decision-making. While traditional supervised learning maps inputs to labels, DRL maps states to actions to maximize a cumulative reward. By leveraging deep neural networks, we can now process high-dimensional state spaces like raw pixels or complex telemetry data that were previously computationally intractable. In the context of global infrastructure, DRL is shifting from academic curiosity to a core component for optimizing complex, nonlinear systems where static rules fail. We are moving from hard-coded heuristics to systems that learn optimal policies through interaction with their environment. At the heart of DRL is the agent-environment loop. The agent perceives the current state, takes an action based on its policy, and receives a reward and the next state from the environment. For infrastructure engineers, think of the agent as a global load balancer and the environment as your worldwide data center footprint. Every decision, be it traffic routing or resource scaling, is an action that results in a reward, such as reduced latency or lower cost. The goal is to find an optimal policy that maximizes the total expected return over time. This loop is continuous, requiring high-availability data pipelines to ensure the state information is current and the reward signal is accurate for the learning process. Classical RL relies on queue tables to store the value of every possible action in every possible state. However, in modern cloud architectures, the number of states is infinite. This is where deep queue networks come in. We replace the lookup table with a deep neural network that acts as a function approximator. The network predicts the queue value, the expected future reward, for each action given a state. This allows the system to generalize across similar states, enabling it to handle unforeseen traffic spikes or hardware failures. For software architects, the challenge shifts from managing table size to managing neural network weights, training stability, and the computational cost of the forward pass in high-throughput environments. While DQN predicts rewards, policy gradient methods directly optimize the probability of taking actions. This is often more stable for continuous action spaces, such as tuning CPU frequencies or memory allocations. The actor-critic architecture combines both. The actor decides which action to take, while the critic evaluates that action by predicting the reward. This dual-model approach reduces variance and accelerates convergence. From a systems perspective, this looks like a microservices architecture, where one service handles the business logic of decisions, while another monitors performance and provides feedback. Mastering this pattern is essential for building autonomous systems that can fine-tune themselves without human intervention. One of the most critical challenges in DRL is the exploration-exploitation trade-off. Should the agent exploit what it already knows to be the best action, or explore new actions that might lead to even higher rewards? In a production environment, excessive exploration can lead to downtime, while too little exploration prevents the system from finding better configurations. We often use techniques like epsilon greedy, where the system explores with the probability of epsilon. As architects, you must design safeguards or boundary constraints that allow for exploration within safe operational limits, ensuring that the learning process doesn't violate your service-level objectives, SLOs, while searching for the optimal configuration. Scaling DRL to the enterprise level requires distributed architectures like Apex or Impala. These systems decouple acting from learning. Actors run on hundreds or thousands of CPU cores, interacting with different instances of the environment to collect experience data. This data is then streamed to a centralized learner, typically running on high-performance GPUs, which updates the neural network weights. For infrastructure engineers, this involves managing massive data ingestion rates and low-latency communication between distributed nodes. Using frameworks like Ray or Horovod, we can scale these patterns across global clusters, ensuring that our model benefits from a diverse range of experience data in real time. In distributed DRL, the replay buffer is a critical infrastructure component. It stores millions of previous state, action, reward, next state transitions, allowing the learner to sample data randomly. This breaks the temporal correlation between sequential steps, which is vital for neural network stability. To ensure high availability, this buffer must be distributed and fault-tolerant. If the learner fails, we need checkpointing strategies to resume from the last stable set of weights. If an actor fails, the system must remain resilient. This is where your expertise in distributed state management and message queues like Kafka or Redis comes into play to maintain the integrity of the experience data. When deploying DRL in production, inference latency is the primary bottleneck. A model that takes 500 milliseconds to decide on a routing path is useless if your packet timeout is 50 milliseconds. Architects must optimize the inference path using techniques like model quantization, pruning, or hardware acceleration via TensorRT. We also need to monitor GPU-TPU utilization to ensure we aren't wasting expensive compute cycles. The goal is a high-availability inference service that can handle thousands of requests per second with sub-millisecond latency. Balancing the complexity of the DeepRL model with the strict timing requirements of infrastructure is where the true engineering challenge lies. Where does this all fit in? Real-world DRL is being used to manage cluster orchestration, where it outperforms Kubernetes default schedulers by predicting future load. It is used in traffic routing to minimize global latency across CDNs and in energy management for data centers, reducing cooling costs by up to 40%. These aren't just theoretical. They are production systems where RL agents make millisecond-level decisions that impact 99.99% uptime. For an architect, the value of DRL lies in its ability to handle multi-objective optimization, balancing cost, performance, and reliability simultaneously in a way that no human-written script ever could. The future of DRL in infrastructure is multi-agent reinforcement learning, MARO. Imagine thousands of small, specialized agents, one for each microservice or edge node, collaborating or competing to optimize the entire ecosystem. This leads to truly self-healing infrastructure that can proactively reconfigure itself in response to a regional outage or a DDoS attack. As you look toward your next-gen architecture, consider how DRL can move from being an add-on to being the operating system of your cloud environment. The journey from manual scripts to autonomous, intelligent systems is just beginning, and mastering these patterns is the key to building the next generation of global-scale infrastructure.